made for change. The same people, though now in different camps, have renewed the same promises made in 2015, which none has been fulfilled or delivered. Even the simplest one, the provision of bursaries and scholarships for students promised in 2015, repeated in 2019, yet to be achieved, is being promised again, among others, in 2023. We must not forget that Nigeria faces existential threats because of poor leadership and irresponsible governance. The good news is the arrival of Labour Party and its most admired, remarkable, inspirational leader, His Excellency Peter Obi, who has changed the dynamics of Nigerian politics for good. He has mobilized Nigerians and given them hope that a new Nigeria devoid of bad leadership, insecurity, and corruption is possible. Also possible is a country propelled by good governance to significantly improve the general well-being of the vast majority of Nigerians and guarantee their security and prosperity. It is a message we have taken around the country and has been well received by millions of Nigerians who have come to believe in him of his own good antecedents. Throughout our campaigns, we have met some of the most amazing, enthusiastic, and wonderful Nigerians, particularly the youth and women, who through their actions and commitments have convinced me of the need for an honest and dedicated leadership. These Nigerians, the obedience, who have shown courage and desire to take back their country, they care very little about religion and ethnicity, and more about a country that is inclusive, united, and a country that works for all. You only have to be at the rallies and town hall meetings to appreciate the outpouring of love, support, and encouragement to His Excellency Peter Obi and my humble self. We thank every Nigerian most sincerely. Our supporters have invested time, energy, and emotions because they can see our sincerity and commitment. This is what makes us different from the others. We have asked Nigerians to hold us responsible if we fail as promised to secure, unite, and prosper our dear nation, Nigeria. We have asked them to hold us responsible if we fail to move Nigeria from consumption to production. We have asked them to hold us accountable if we fail to build a 21st century economy propelled by technology, and if we fail to transform the vast arable land in Nigeria, especially northern Nigeria, into the new oil. We will bear the full responsibility if we fail to build the required human capital and skill for the 21st century economy that we live in. Hold us responsible if we fail to cut waste in government and drastically fight corruption, which has permeated every segment and sector of our national life. We make these promises because of what we are offering Nigerians: leadership with character, competence, knowledge, and compassion. This is the stark difference between us and others, and why we call on all Nigerians to troop out on Saturday, 25th February 2023, and vote for Labour Party. A vote for Labour Party is a vote to secure for a secure and progressive nation. It is a vote for unity and an appreciation that our diversity is a major strength which we must promote to our advantage. I know that His Excellency Peter Obi will, before the close of campaigns, speak to the nation. But today I call on all Nigerians of goodwill, Nigerians who care about the youth, to come out en masse and vote Labour Party. Even if you are angry with the country and the leadership because of the sufferings you are going through, please take your anger to the poll and vote out those who, over the years, have impoverished you through bad governance. Our message is very simple and unambiguous. Against the threats and challenges facing us, we offer Nigerians a leadership with character we know, with proven records of competence we can trust, knowledge and compassion you can feel, and capacity that has been tested and proven, a leadership you can hold accountable. Let me reiterate, we shall stop the killings and start the healing. We shall stop the stealing and start the keeping. We shall stop the slide and start the climb of our society. Vote for Labour Party for a new Nigeria. The 2023 elections, if conducted well, hold the promise of the long-awaited, secure, stable, and prosperous Nigeria. Nigeria is indeed only one good leader away from greatness. I therefore sustain the call on INEC to be an impartial umpire and not frustrate the will of the people. I implore security agencies, the police, the military, the DSS, and other uniformed officers to conduct themselves with utmost responsibility and resist the temptation to subvert the will of the people. And to my dear Nigerians, with us, you have the best opportunity to take back your country and usher in a new Nigeria. I urge you to troop out, vote Labour Party LP, and protect your right to a new Nigeria. Let's get it done, please. Vote Peter Obi for president. Vote Labour Party LP, Mama, Papa, Pikin. God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Give me this man. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen,
Q&A, right?
Your Excellency will take one or two, a few questions.
Yes, one at a time.
I need to be one at a time. Come.
With the hat. Take your turn. Blue with a hat.
So you have the best of this etiquette and reasonable. Your name, your media person. Thank you very much. Thank you, His Excellency, for the address. My name is Mazito Ojukwu, Gender Media. My question to you, sir. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria yesterday made a broadcast where he reaffirmed that the 500 naira notes and the 1,000 naira notes it will still remain out of circulation and out of use. And yesterday, we also saw the governor of Kaduna State make a statement which seemed to many of us invalidating what the president said. When something like that happens under your watch, how would you handle such? Do you consider that as an offense against the state, as someone who speaks in violation of what the president of the republic spoke about? Thank you.
Thank you. Your question is very hypothetical, but valid. Should anybody attempt this kind of gross act of indiscipline under our leadership, the full weight of the law will bear down on that individual. We have been more than bewildered at the failures we have witnessed in the last 8 years. However, it is close to an act of treason. So to say, it's an act of treason. If an elected governor of a constituent part of a sovereign country will give direct instructions to the contrary of what is constitutionally the exclusive preserve of the federal government. Like it or hate it, Buhari's government was duly elected and sworn in. Nigeria is a sovereign state, and currency matters are a sovereign issue. No state governor, especially those who have serially failed in implementing court judgments in their political career, has the right to challenge the government. However, they know themselves better. They know how they came to power. They know how much they collected from each other and what transpired way back 2013, 14, 15. Why a commander-in-chief cannot descend, irrespective of the immunity of a state governor, why he cannot descend, while as commander-in-chief, you give out executive order, clean constitutional, and a state governor goes to say that people should continue to exchange those currencies. This is to say that there are two authorities in your country. Why President Buhari is silent about this is best known to them. And immunity does not mean that the offense has not been committed. This is a treasonable offense. Why Buhari is keeping quiet and letting this pass, we don't know. They know each other better. These are the state governments that contributed about the largest votes to bring Buhari's government. Kano, Kaduna, of course there is Katsina, but we haven't heard from Katsina yet. But now these are the states at the forefront of fighting Buhari's government because of currency. These are state governments who have not fought Buhari's government for failure to deliver the promise to secure Nigerians. Their states have become so insecure. The train from Kaduna to Abuja was attacked. International headlines. They have not challenged Buhari on that. They have not challenged Buhari on when the Naira fell from 200 to the dollar to 750 now or more. They have not challenged him. It is only the money, the drama to elections that they are challenging the president to the extent of giving counter orders to the tune of, treason. It's close to treason. Lawyers will tell you that better. Next question, please.
Some Hausa media here. If they ask in Hausa, answer them in Hausa.
Yeah, I'm fine.
My question is, I want to know your level of confidence on INEC to carry out a free and fair election. And then I also want to know your government's plan on about affirmative action on women and youth. So those are my questions.
Right. My personal experiences will not fail to bear here. I have in the past suffered a variety of frauds perpetrated against me, 2007, 2011, and 12. For that, I happen to know INEC deeply. I have also been a keen observer in 2015 and particularly 2019. Your question about how confident I am cautiously optimistic, and so should all Nigerians. Until we see free, fair, credible elections, we won't believe it. Let them do, and then we believe. As for the affirmative action, His Excellency Peter Obi has released a statement this morning, and we're on the same page. So please allow me to wholeheartedly adopt the statement of His Excellency Peter Obi. Next question, please.
Good morning, Chief. Good afternoon. My name is Kingsley of the Daily Independent newspapers. I will ask you just two simple questions. Question number one is, the Supreme Court has to take action on the currency swap thing. And then the President came out yesterday, I believe, to make categorical remarks regarding the currency swap thing. Now, in some quarters, the President has been accused of contempt of court. I want to know your position on that. Then number two, you have your rally in Lagos. Now, there are people who believe that the Resident Electoral Commission for Lagos ought to be recalled or deployed elsewhere. And they have their reasons for that. Some reasons are bordering on some unscrupulous remarks he's been making, and the fact that they don't have confidence that non-Lagosians will be allowed to vote in Lagos. I want your position on that also.
Apparently, I may only be able to adequately answer your question on the Supreme Court. It was very strange that the Attorney General of the Federation allowed Mr. President to proceed with yesterday's national broadcast. And to say the least, it was unfortunate. The least I know is that when a competent court of law, for that matter, Supreme Court, is addressing an issue, all parties stay action until such is delivered. How much more of the President, Commander-in-Chief, aided with all the instruments of government, for that matter, the office of the AGF. However, I have always submitted, even in the second paragraph here, we had been more than bewildered by the poor quality of leadership in Nigeria. That is the only thing that can explain this phenomena, that Supreme Court has even adjourned hearing or maybe preserved ruling, and a commander-in-chief goes out to take another action on what is at the Supreme Court. This is classic poor quality leadership. It's a standard hallmark of what we've been witnessing. However, we have weeks to go, now days to the election, maybe a few months. We are now challenging the offshoot of this governance, of this government. Our opponents are the candidates of APC and PDP and any other party that happens to be around. Right now, the best we can get out of this government is some form of a credible election for us to ease them out and usher in the Nigeria of our dreams. That is the only way to explain what happened. It was a tragedy. It was a travesty. But thanks to very keen observers like your good self, you would feel that something is wrong and then ask the question. But in my measured response to you, I think it was unfortunate that Mr. President took action on what Supreme Court is about to rule on. As for Lagos, I don't know much about that. I'm sorry about that. And I don't want to speculate. No, I've answered that.
My name is Hamid Alawal. It's a follow-up question to what a colleague from the Sun newspaper asked, where she said that how confident are you in the Independent National Electoral Commission in conducting a free, fair, and credible election? And you said you don't expect anything that falls short, maybe to your side. How you sound very confident. What if the result goes the other way? What are you going to do?
Yes, I'm confident because the situation we're in now really is not only logical, it is arithmetic, not even to say mathematical. Look at it this way. 18 political parties have filed presidential candidates. 15 could not actually go around the country to campaign. So we can comfortably say that 15 have fallen behind. There are 3 main parties now contesting 2023 presidential elections. Out of the 3, 2 have misconfigured themselves to win 2023 presidential elections. One of them, helplessly so, it leaves only one party standing. And I repeat, this is logical. Now, let me get political. The reason why Bola Tinubu is not vice president of Nigeria today is the impracticality of a certain kind of ticket in 2015. Nigeria has waxed stronger in terms of unity. For the well-meaning Nigerians, not for those who are dividing Nigerians. What could not happen in 2015 cannot happen in 2023. They have a fundamental error, and they will pay by losing this election. The second thing is that the second opponent of ours was categorical in 2015 that the reason why PDP then had to be defeated was that it was the turn of the North. It cannot therefore be the turn of the North again. Very quickly, I have always said it, that our name registered in the United Nations is Federal Republic. Both our faiths, we know that the Creator makes no mistake. There are countries you have nearly 100% one faith, one ethnic group, one language. And the Creator makes no mistake. Here we have 252 competing religions. And we must live with each other and do justice to each other. Any responsible organization that calls itself a political party, for that matter presenting a presidential candidate, must respect the diversity of Nigeria. Then add that to the political history of Nigeria. You must configure yourself. After independence, 6 years we ran into trouble. By the 9th year, we began to recover. We did not find our democratic direction until 1979. Look at it, start counting. 1, then General Olusegun Obasanjo, even though it was vote for vote, there was Zik, there was Awolowo, Northern Muslim Shehu Shagari won. Then, years later, military took over for 15 years. But in between, a Northern Muslim, Ibrahim Babangida, because he really knew the ins and outs and the rights and wrongs of Nigeria, handed over to Christian Southern Ernest Shonekan. Abacha took, Abdusalam came, going in 1999, then Fourth Republic, there was election, all the same. Northerners were there, Muslims were there, handed over to then Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Southern Christian. Continue reading the DNA of Nigeria. Fast forward 2007, in the Eagle Square, drama happened. Some Peter was about to beat some Umaru, and NEPA did what it did, and handed over to Northern Muslim Umaru Yar'Adua. God Almighty recalled him. Northerners, Muslims stood for the swearing-in, handing over of Christian Southern Goodluck Jonathan, who asked for 2011 and was given. 2015, PDP for what it was, reneged and tried to do bully its way and all that. Christian Southern leaders, including in the north, some in broad daylight, destroyed their party cards for justice to be done. And a Muhammadu Buhari, Northern Muslim, was elected. Now, 8 years later, this DNA of Nigeria, the fourth DNA of Nigeria, it regulates, that is political justice. That DNA regulates our body temperature. Without it, the fever will kill us. Our body will overheat and it will kill us. There is only one party properly configured to win 2023 presidential election, and that is Labour Party. That is the source of my confidence. So yes, I'm confident. Yes, I'm confident because it is logical and it is arithmetic. Put everything aside. This has to be done. We have to get it right. Nigeria belongs to all of us.
Good afternoon. My name is Uwais. I fought for Georgia Service. My questions are going to be in Hausa. I have the request either answer it now, sir. I'm talking to you. Have just one.
Go ahead.
To get a better sound quality.
Okay.
Yeah, I would prefer to give me 3 minutes after.
Yeah, I'll give you.
Good afternoon. My name is Timothy Obiuzu, Voice of American News. You rightly mentioned that there are 30.
Sorry. The last question was so important. Please, before you ask yours, my friend, the lady, I forgot a key part of your answer. Go back to 2019. The likes of Peter Obi, Wike, Emmanuel Udom, and other Christian Southern politicians, if you recall, they had the resources, people, and experience to contest the presidency. But what did they do? And it was their constitutional right. Hello, anyways. They had the constitutional right to contest in 2019. What happened? To show you that this DNA I'm speaking about is real, they restrained themselves. They also showed respect to Nigerianness. They showed respect to others, like me in 2019. As unprepared as I was, I knew 23 was not our time, and I could not wait for 31, and I was thirsty to rescue Nigeria from what we are witnessing today. I contested. Obi did not contest. It was his constitutional right, legal, and everything. They restrained themselves. This is respect for Nigerianness, for that DNA. What does it deserve? It deserves to be reciprocated. I was honored as an individual, as a politician in my own right. I enjoyed the respect Wike, Obi, and others gave me as a Nigerian, and I was proud to be Nigerian. The more reason I'm proud to be a Nigerian today, serving as vice to Peter Obi, who has restrained himself there. Just to complete your answers.
Yeah, Timothy from Voice of America. Peter Obi and yourself are riding a wave of momentum at the moment in Nigeria that unsettles the well-known political orders. But I'd like to ask you, what is it about your candidacy that really resonates among the Nigerian people, especially the young people at this time in Nigeria?
Good question. It is said that self-praise is an act of ignorance, in my language, roughly translated. But then in politics, if you don't do it, you stand to be the biggest loser. And I will fail to answer questions like the one you're asking me now. With all modesty, Nigerians have never had it so good in terms of people who have presented themselves to be elected as leaders. This is a fact of life. With due respect to others who have contested before now, take Peter Obi and also look at it in the context of who the others are. Again, with due respect, I'm not disparaging anybody. We don't do that at all. I'm not insulting anybody. Now, start with Peter Obi. This is a political leader who has lacked nothing. He has a name verified, confirmed behind him. All his schools that he attended, verified. The work he has done, verified. The businesses that he has done, legitimate, verified. The wealth that he has created, verified. After becoming so successful in business, he felt he wanted to make a mark in the life of his society and contested governorship. Typically, when he contested governorship, it was to go into PDP. He falls in that group, income group, the rich, that would be in PDP. He refused. He joined APGA. For 3 years was in court, won, got in, impeached, went to court and came back. He served for 8 years, did not borrow a penny, left behind 75 billion naira, has not yet taken a penny from that state. Now, this is a record that all Nigerian governors are doing their best to bury, because no governor is prepared to even attempt matching this record. So Nigerians are aware of Peter Obi. Even though Peter Obi can claim, turn by turn, it is their turn, he says, do not elect him because of where he's from. Elect him because he's a Nigerian and he's competent. That's another point. Come to when he picked me as his vice, and then the absence of controversies, local and international controversies, except those who just wish to lie unfairly. He's a very, very clean politician. For what he has attained in life, he's a very clean politician, and exactly what Nigeria desires. When one of the parties announced their running mate, the party split in half, irrevocably. When the other party announced their vice, it split the country along lines. When Obi announced his own, Labour Party waxed stronger, and I got to work. Nigerians are not sleeping. I spoke about his school and all those. Look, the youth are, are seeing everything. From the scratch, I built 2 universities. Where I come from, we're educationally challenged. I am the leader in promoting education in northern Nigeria, with all modesty. People and institutions compete with me to promote education in northern Nigeria. So you can begin to see it. And Peter Obi made it a point of duty to go for someone like me. I was in the reps, I was in the Senate, yet to the best that I know so far, you have not had my name mentioned in any budget or any other kind of controversy. They were selling 360 houses of Apple. Only one member I'm not saying the act was wrong, but I disagreed with the principle of and the source of repayment of those loans they were taking. And I refused to buy the Apple House. Only 1 out of 360 refused to buy. Nigerians are saying this. I'm all about promoting education. I have done it myself, 2 master's degrees, PhD. I'm willing and able to apply all that I know. I'm the promoter of what you call due process in Nigeria today. I brought it to Nigeria before they adopted it. The procurement system that I've been speaking about, I am the one, with all modesty, that has been behind it, unable to get government to do it the right way. When I get into government, together with a prudent person like Peter Obi, we will cut the waste and stop the stealing, like we said. That is what Nigerians are seeing in us. Forget the fact that they are seeing in age, we're closer to the youth. Not just that, there is something associated with the age, not just the number. Something tangible that Nigerians can feel. He studied philosophy, and you see philosophy in everything he does, in his business, in his politics, in his speeches. I mean, who would be derided in the way he was, that he is an Nollywood star? And he tells you, yeah. That reminds me, I will work with Nollywood. You have to be deep in knowledge, culture, and character. You need to be worth your weight in gold from where you come from to be such an individual. That is why Nigerians are believing in us.
The very last question.
So I'm Chidas and I work with the Associated Press Engineers. My question focus on the cash shortage crisis we're seeing. Just before I came here, I was a family that they're having very rough accessing cash for their daily use. And that pretty much mirrors the challenges we're seeing with other families. So now there are concerns about this affecting the election in just a big way, in terms of not just limiting the number of voters that would come to vote, but also logistics challenges for having to facilitate all of the supplies they need to prepare for the election. So now I want to know, do you share the same concern? Because the woman I was speaking to say that she has to first of all eat to have the strength to go to polling to vote. And now just a week, you're seeing people, having to spend all days in the queue and all. So do you think in any way that what we are seeing now in terms of the protests, the arrests, and inability to access cash just for daily use, it's going to have any impact on the election? Maybe going to lead to maybe a postponement or even people having to come to the Thank you.
Well, your questions bring me to say more about this government that I'm trying to avoid. But the truth has to be said. Since 2015, was there anything ever done right? That's what you have to see. Nothing has been done right. I just mentioned in the opening paragraph, not a single promise fulfilled. Nothing was ever done right by these people. We are appealing to Nigerians. Countries, especially like Nigeria, are most vulnerable during transition periods. That short transition period, that's the most vulnerable time for diverse countries like Nigeria. We have to work with citizens to hold this giant egg not to break. It's a very giant, fragile egg. We don't want it to break and spill on all of us. The sacrifice everyone has to make, that we are making, our citizens have to make the same. I still don't believe anybody will fall down and die. I pray not from hunger. You see, in our thinking, in our philosophy, that effort which you made in the most difficult circumstances yields you a greater result than the kind of sacrifice you make when you're in absolute comfort. Nigerians are in a lot of difficulty. We know we are even in greater difficulty than Nigerians. Citizens, or you think who cannot draw cash from ATMs. There is nothing we can say besides the fact that, please, Nigerians, the darkest part of the night It's just before dawn. The sun has gone. The sun is yet to rise. The sun has gone, so to say, on this era, if this election works. And a very bright day is beckoning. Just bear out. We have days to go to the election and weeks, and we know we have to hit the ground running. But let me reiterate, these people have not done anything right. Nowhere in the world has a central bank ever been charged with fiscal responsibilities. But we have seen it years before now. CBN doing agriculture, only for us to come and find out the CBN governor had presidential ambition. This is wrong. Where is the commander-in-chief? What was he doing? Go back in time. There were 3 culprits. One ran away from the country. One was imprisoned, so to say, or jailed. The other one, who is the CBN governor, remained in his office, prospered. How come? How is that possible? And then to come and see that he became close to those who are close to commander-in-chief. Everything that could go wrong in Nigeria has gone wrong. So do not expect currency change to work out perfectly, because they have never done anything. People cannot still collect their PVC cards. And I would say PVC is even more important than cash. Where is the government? Everything that is going wrong is going wrong. A little more perseverance and we'll get there. I'm really, really sorry that Nigerians are going through this. We're all in it. We're feeling it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Thank you very much, Excellency.
Yes.
Some of our colleagues are going to ask a few more questions. I hope you can spare a few minutes.
Yeah, I will. And by the way, the constitutional role of the law of CBN does not have anything to do with elections. It is banker to the federal government, a lender of the last resort, financial, economic, and monetary, not fiscal. To deviate from that and say that Central Bank of Nigeria engaged in a certain change of currency for the sake of elections, this has never happened in history. At least I studied economics. I know, I think I can comfortably, it is completely wrong for CBN to do anything that is political or electoral, because it is not their work. It is not the work of CBN to do anything electoral. They could not manage the value of the Naira. They saw Naira fall from 197 to 750. And they come to tell us that they are doing this for elections. Why did they not change the currency before 2019 elections? We're not going, well, it's if they are trying to stop vote buying, in principle, it is good. In principle. But how is it being implemented? CBN has nothing to do with elections. That's the answer. Yes. Yeah, finish. You say your colleagues.
Yes.
Yeah.
They need to ask some of the questions.
Yes.
Of you. And you need to step aside so that you can actually do that on outside the stage.
Yeah, that's
the quality of.
Yes. Last but not the least, I mean, on this currency issue, now that it hurts so much, the governor of the state, which in 2019 gave President Muhammadu Buhari 1.9 million votes, literally delivered Buhari to us. That governor has come out to say that Buhari's government has not achieved anything in 8 years. And without disparaging the governor again, I mean, the news is the news. This is a governor that was seen with a very, very despicable act, which Mr. President again turned his head away and allowed it to happen. The president who claims to be fighting corruption. Now that same governor, because of Naira, has turned around to tell the whole world this president has achieved nothing in 8 years after giving him after his state giving him 1.9 million votes. If you ask me, not just this individual, not just the political party, but that entire system must never be trusted again to get anywhere close to power. Thank you so much.
Can we give DP a round of applause?
I think he did well. Don't you think so? So that is what Nigeria should be looking forward to. We are not the type of people who avoid the media. We have things to say, we have things to share with people of Nigeria, and we will never shy away from that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. I'm sorry, Your Excellency, just one announcement. There will be tea break immediately after now. Please, in 5 minutes, come back for another announcement. Thank you.
Please do not go away. Very important announcement, please. After the interview with